mic should be up, and there we go. Hello, everyone. Hello. Welcome back to another episode of Little Anime Podcast, where we talk about anything anime related games, movies, shows. Today, yes, actually planned on doing this a little earlier, but something came up. But I am back. I don't have much time before I gotta go for what I have to do today. So I figured, you know what? Let's just start this as soon as we can. That should still give me at least a good time frame to talk about the anime and to do our candy tier list. Like I said, maybe next Sunday I'll do the handicam actually rating some candy. By then I should have everything, but we'll have to wait and see. But yeah, so today we'll be talking about the. Oh, actually, what year did this come out? I wrote it down. Hold on, let me bring up my notes. Yes. Okay, so we'll be talking about the 2008 love, mystery, drama anime, Vampire Knight. We'll only be discussing the first season, ooh, excuse me, which is the first 13 episodes. Then there's the second season called Vampire Knight Guilty, which is, I believe, another 13 episodes that follows, pretty much picks up where the first season ends off, and then that's it. There's a lot of things involving this anime. There's a lot more that wasn't adapted into an anime, and then I think there's supposed to be like a sequel anime that follows the events of what happens afterwards of that. But yeah, so we'll be discovering the first 13 episodes of season 1. Came out April 8th on 2008 all the way to July 1st of 2008. Came out in spring of 2008. Licensing was Viz Media. Studio that created it was Studio Dean. Source material is a manga, and its genres, when you look it up, comes up as a drama, mystery, romance, supernatural. The themes are love, polygon, and vampires. And the demographic it will also fall under is shoujo. So, as you can see here, these are some of the characters. We'll go through each one of them, and then we'll go through the anime itself. So here's a bit of a synopsis that was on my anime list. The chillful Yuki Cross and the gruff Zero Kiryu are members of the disparity community at Cross Academy, which houses two very distinct classes, the day class and the night class. Their job consists of upholding order between the classes when they switch out. While that may not seem like a specifically difficult task, the day class is unaware of the truth behind the night class, that the utterly gorgeous students are vampires. 10 years ago, Yuki was saved from a vampire attack by Kaname Kuron, a pure-blooded vampire. Now Kaname is the leader of the night class, and Yuki, this very committee position, allows her to see him again, making her feelings for him grow complicated. Meanwhile, Zero bears a hot-blooded hatred for all vampires and believes that they can never live in harmony with humans. But a secret from Zero's past too threatens the fragile peace of all at the academy, and things may never be the same again. Hello, Mio Sticks. Hello. Yes. Just in time. I am talking about the anime that we were discussing, Vampire Knight. Came out in 2008. If I'm not mistaken, I think you said you've seen this one, or have you at least heard of this anime? Hold on. I'm trying to move the chat so you guys can be right there. Fine. But I actually do remember watching this. I remember I actually had a friend back in school. I think it was around middle school when she showed me that she had the actual manga for it. Only like one book. She didn't bring the whole thing. Like, she didn't bring all the volumes, but she had a book and she would sometimes read it in between like classes or at lunch. So I think that's what kind of got me to pick it up. I only know of it since it's like a reverse ham. Yeah, because we know we do have the two main leads that are in love with Yuki. So we got Kaname and we got Zero. So that actually, yeah. So like I said, it's 13 episodes. That covers. Well, I guess I can just go into it. So the first episode, we get introduced to everyone. We meet Yuki, Zero, Kaname. We meet the night class, day class students. We do meet the headmaster, which is Yuki's adopted father, Kane Cross, or I forgot how they pronounce his name, but yeah. So basically, we do find out a little later on that he was a vampire hunter. I think he's either retired or he quit. So as he didn't want, he saw firsthand like the conflicts and the effects between humans and vampires fighting. No longer wanted to be a part of that. Instead, wanted to find some way that they can all coexist. Hence, him making this academy. And then, of course, him enlisting Yuki and Zero being the disciplinary committee to make sure that the day class students don't find out that the night class are vampires, since them they're being the only ones throughout the whole school that knows this secret, which does end up causing a lot of conflicts between them with either night class or day class. We do meet some of the other characters in the night class. One thing you do notice right away, all of them have great respect for Kaname, which you do find out later on that he is a pure-blooded vampire, which basically means there's no drop of no other like human blood or any other blood. He's purely 100% vampire, and we also find out that there are not that many pure-blooded vampires left. There's him, and maybe very, very few, like, handful of vampires. We actually do meet one later on in the season, but right now we just kind of know that he's kind of like one of the main ones that people really respect, fear, and look up to and idolize. And we do see that with the night class, they all respect him, treat him like pretty much like a king or a god, and I guess in a way that's what he is to them, him being a pure-blooded vampire. We do know that the other students in the class are nobles. Basically means they're not pure blood, but they are like, basically they come from like vampire families, so they're not 100% pure blood, but they are less like human, but not 100% vampire. So I guess I didn't really go into details like what percentage they are, but basically like they come from noble families, long line of vampires, and yeah. So, even though there are a bunch of nobles, a lot of them still look up to and idolize the purebloods. So we do see how they treat Kaname, how they're willing to lay their lives down for him. Anyone that disrespects him, even the slightest, which we do see that a lot with Zero. Because, and it's something that Kaname also notices and comments on a few times with Zero himself, that, Zero doesn't fear him, doesn't quiver in fear because he's a pure-blooded vampire like other people might. So that does kind of interest him, seeing his hatred for vampires kind of overcome, the presence of a pure blood. So that's kind of the first episode. We do get a bit of a let's think. Yeah. So basically, they're like watching over. We do see that Yuki has a huge crush on Kaname, but we do see she's really close to Zero as well. We find out that that his whole family was killed by a vampire. He was the only survivor. That's what stemmed his hatred for vampires. We do find out that later another character comes in that turns out to be his vampire hunting master that taught him, how to fight against vampires and whatnot. And that due to an incident, his master got seriously hurt. And Zero, still feels responsible for it to this day, that, he wounded him that greatly because of his mistakes and his naivete. So that, I guess, another reason that fuels his hatred for vampires. But first episode, we just kind of meet everyone, we get a understanding. We find also that the night class, they take these, like, blood tablets that helps them, like, crave their hunger for blood so that they don't go after the day class students or anyone else. As a way to, like, to go with the headmasters, ideology, but they do also like remind all the other characters that the only reason why they're doing it is because Kaname is willing and participant in this, and that's the only reason why they are doing this, because they are following his lead. So at one point we do see that we also see how obsessed the day class are with the night class. They huddle over their entranceway every day, to the point that Yuki and Zero always have to fend them off. Yuki, being not as tall and physically strong as maybe Zero, is always getting knocked over by a crowd of girls whenever they start rushing the night class boys. She'll get maybe picked up by Kaname, and then the girls get jealous, but then she'll freak out, try to put a distance between them. and then he'll see how sweet and kind he is to her, which kind of throws everyone off. Even the night class, they're like, we don't understand why you're so attached to this human girl. You know, we don't understand what's so special about her. We do, but with that, late that night, two female day class students try to take pictures of the night class, which of course is against the rules because of course they'll see them acting like vampires. So when Yuki tries to stop them, two other students, Hanabusa and Akatsuki, come down, she thinks they're gonna attack the students and maybe drink their blood, but really they were drawn to Yuki's blood because as she was jumping down, she got cut. So they do that, and then not Kaname, well, he does show up, but first Zero pops up, and we also find out that they have these special vampire weapons, which we do see in that previous picture. Yuki has like a staff that I guess when it hits vampires, it's stings them, or affects them, or immobilizes them, and Zero carries Rose something gun, I forget what the full name is, that he could shoot and it will kill vampires, kind of like if they touch holy water or a cross or anything like that. So he was about to really just shoot one of the students when Yuki stopped him. Kaname comes down. He says, I'll take it from here, I'll punish the two vampires who did this. The one who was really into it, the other one that just stood by, didn't really do anything. Erasing the memories of the day class students and sending them to the headmaster so that they can be punished. And then another thing, we do see Zero acting really weird for the first 3 or 4 episodes. We don't know why, but we do notice at one point he's carrying the same blood tablets that the day class students are. At one point, I think it was maybe the next episode, Yuki notices it, and she's like, wait, why would he have this? This makes no sense. He wouldn't need these. Only the night class students need it. So that does kind of fear what's going on with him. So we do get the next episode, which is kind of quote unquote like a Valentine's Day episode, but they call it something else. They call it Saint Chocolato's Day, which I guess, like I said, it's like their version of Valentine's Day. The girls go around giving chocolates to the guys they like. They didn't say anything if there was a white day version in this world, but their version of Valentine's Day, at one point they make this huge event for the day class, but we see for the night class, but we see how the day class students act. Basically, the night class boys will go up to certain tents and they will receive chocolates. Yuki, of course, he wants to make one and give it to Kaname, but she's scared and nervous because she does always feel like there's this wall between them, her being a human, him being a vampire. That kind of also feels even more when she finds out he's a pure-blooded vampire, making him the top of the tier of all vampires in their society. But she does end up, she buys a chocolate instead of making one because the one she tried didn't end up going well. So she was thinking about giving to him, but then he ends up getting overwhelmed with a bunch of presents in his hand and then is about to leave early when, of course, again, she gets knocked over by a group of girls trying to reach out to the guys. It ends up falling out of her pocket. Zero picks it up, tosses it to Kaname, saying, hey, this was for you. Him saying, oh, no, thank you so much, Yuki. I'll gladly take it. She gets embarrassed and shy. Hitting Zero, saying, why did you do that? You were so angry when you heard I was going to give him something. He was like, well, it was just pissing me off even more seeing you act all like this. Why didn't you just give him to yourself? Again, her alliterating that she feels like there's this wall between them that that doesn't allow her to get any closer to him. But we do see a little further on a servant of his that works, directly under him, asks, please let me hold those chocolates for you. They must be an inconvenience from the other girls. And he's like, no problem. Yeah, actually, you know what? You can take all of them. I only want this one, which was the one Yuki gave him. So we do see, that he does really have strong feelings for Yuki to the point that all the other chocolates meant nothing the moment he got one from her. Which I thought was so cute. I loved it. Let's see, what else? Oh, right. I think at one point Kadame says something to Zero, kind of alluding to his secret. Of course, like I said, Zero isn't afraid of Kadame at all. Doesn't respect him, doesn't fear him. So he pretty much tells him, "Hey, you want to throw down? We can throw down anytime," which angers the other night students. You know, they're like, "How dare you talk to Lord Kadame like that?" Ready to attack and jump Zero. But then Yuki jumps in, saying like, "Hey, fighting is prohibited on school grounds. If you want to fight, you have to go through me." Of course, they do know that she is very precious and dear to Kadame, so they know if anything would have happened to her, they would get his wrath. So the minute she pops up, they're like, "I'm over it. Time to leave." Being like, "Yeah, no, we might not like all humans, and they're ready to tear Zero to shreds." But the moment Yuki is into the fray, they're like, "Yeah, I'm not risking that at all. Because if she gets hurt and Kadame finds out, and if they were the one that hurt her, they will be held to pay." So they're like, "Yeah, no, we're not doing that." Late that night, Yuki gives Zero a chocolate she did end up making. When he doesn't end up tasting good, so he makes like a sour face. She gets upset, turns away, and we see him kind of like pulsating towards her neck. But he ends up running away, and that's when one of the tablets falls out of his pockets, and that's when she notices it. She's like, "Wait, why would he need this? Doesn't make any sense." But the next episode kind of has no time to worry about that because they have to go through an inspection for all the students, finding out that a lot of them had secret pictures of the night class that, they got a conference date because just in case they ended up taking pictures of them when they were like in their vampire form or whatnot. So they go through the whole school doing that, kind of getting the wrath of all the students, who don't understand why they're doing this. They just think it's part of the rules, but they know the real reason why. And then they're gonna go over to the night class to do the same thing. When that's when Yuki decides to confront Zero about the tablets she found and what's going on with him. But Zero doesn't want to answer, so he runs away. Yuki follows him into town, where she meets this little boy who's like saying, "Oh, he lost his mom." She decides to help him, but ends up turning out to be a vampire child that ends up biting her and then is tracking her down to kill her and take her blood. At the same time, Zero encounters a woman vampire that attacks him, but he quickly takes care of her. But then she says something before he kills her. She says, "One of us," or something like that, and then he freezes. And then that like really pisses him off, and he ends up shooting her. The little vampire boy pops up again, and ends up jumping over to where Yuki was hiding out. He hears her scream. He runs up to go save her. The vampire, they're in like this clock tower thing with a huge bell in. The vampire kid ends up slashing her. She is able to fend him off, but then he jumps on the giant bell, which ends up ringing. And of course, since she's so close to it, it's like ringing in her ear that loud to the point that she can't move. She covers her ears, the cover from the sound. The vampire kid's about to jump up and attack her when it stops. It stops in its tracks. She looks up, it's like terrified, backing away in fear, and she turns to like the left or right, I don't remember, and she sees Kadame there. And of course he's very upset. He takes Yuki, sees that she's like cut up, she got bite marks, she's got like scratches on her. And of course, like I said, anyone who hurts Yuki will suffer the price, and that's exactly what that little vampire kid ends up doing. Kaname covers her eyes as he quickly takes out the vampire. So she was like, "What was that?" And she explains that he was a level E. Basically, it's a degenerate vampire consumed by their thirst for blood that ends up losing their humanity and going insane. So, saying that, they are something similar to vampires, but are very different because the fact that they lost their humanity and are just living off of instincts. Actually, it was this scene right here that just showed him covering her eyes, him quickly doing some attack that took out the vampire, and then explaining what he really was. Then her and Zero end up meeting up again. She tells him what she encountered, how she you know, is so scared of those type of vampires because it brings her back to the vampire that nearly killed her in the beginning, when she was just out in this. Oh, right, I didn't explain that. The very first thing we see actually in the beginning of the anime is her. She's like a little kid, but she has no memories of what's going on. She just wakes up in this field covered in snow. This vampire comes and is about to attack her and kill her when Kaname steps in and saves her, killing the vampires and saving her. That's where I guess she said. That's where I guess her love and her devotion to Kaname first started. He saved her from being eaten, and at that point she saw vampires as something nice and I guess beautiful in her way, you know. But at this point, when she encounters this level E, and what she had to go through, it kind of brings back that fear of that snowy day of her, waking up in this random field, nearly killed, and Kaname saves her. But then we see Zero sees the scratches on her, seeing the blood dripping from her wounds. He's overcome by his bloodlust, biting Yuki, drinking her blood. That's when we get the confirmation that Zero is no longer human, he is a vampire. So we learn a bit in the next episode kind of what happened. Basically, his whole that's when we learn more about what happened to his family. Basically, his family was killed by a pure-blooded vampire named Shizuka Hyo, and that she ended up biting Zero, turning him into a vampire. At this point, we don't know why she did that, why she killed his whole family but spared him, and quote unquote turned him into a vampire. But that he had been fighting off the effects all this time, but that they are finally, taking over, that he can't fight it anymore. We do also learn that only pure-blooded vampires have the ability to turn humans into vampires. So even though Zero bit her on the neck, since he was a former human, he doesn't have that ability to turn her into a vampire, so she's still human. But this gets her even more confused. She doesn't understand, like, how is this possible? How was he able to fight this off for this long? If that's the case, she said all those terrible things about vampires and being afraid of them, of them losing control and, attacking people, not knowing that Zero was going through the same thing, just feeling hurt and doesn't know what to do. So what she does end up doing is saying, because at one point Zero is, the last, I guess, bit of hope he had for his humanity was, being by Yuki's side, being there for her, protecting her, as he was. One sec, I need water. Whew, I needed that. Oh my god. I felt it coming, and then as soon as I paused, I just coughed. Oh my god, my throat got so dry. But, so at this one point, Zero, at this point, he's ready to just give up on life. He's fully turned into a vampire. He attacked the one person he cares about. He feels he has no longer to live, but Yuki does end up stopping him. At one point, they do this, like, spell that the vampire hunters do to control vampires. To control them by this bracelet and the marks on his neck to immobilize him. She only uses it like maybe once because she feels like if she does it, then she's like restraining him from being human, and she doesn't want to do that. She wants him to keep, on his humanity and whatnot. But we do see, he is kind of getting more drawn into the vampire world, where his teacher, I talked about the master, comes to be a teacher at the school, and I guess also to watch over the vampires in the night class. But hearing news about what happened to Zero, that he could end up becoming a level E, comes to like take him out of his misery before he ends up really harming someone. But Yuki does end up stopping him, and then they do end up doing this one part where it's kind of quote unquote like a taboo of a human, supplying blood to a vampire to keep them alive. So Yuki decides that she's gonna do that to keep Zero safe, that she'll offer him her blood whenever he needs it to help keep his sanity, to keep him falling into a level E. which of course, angers, Kaname, because of course, he doesn't like that with his strong feelings for Yuki. Let's see, what else, Oh, there are a few episodes that kind of go back to seeing how, her, Kaname, and Yuki first met, how she really devoted on him when she was little, when Zero first got introduced, how they ended up growing up together. And at one point, when the academy was being built, there was an incident where Yuki wanted to see him. She ends up going into the night class dorm, almost gets attacked by a vampire until Kaname saves her. And I think at one point, at that time, Kaname felt like it'd be better to separate her from him. So he ends up biting one of the girls that hangs around him a lot to like show like, yeah, I'm kind, I'm sweet to you, but I am still a vampire. I could turn on you at any point, and that also helped to create that distance between them, which he does feel like he does hate it, but he does understand that it's something he has to do. So let's see. So that covers about a good half. So the last like 3 or 4 episodes focuses more on Zero and what happens with him. We do get this new girl named Maria Kurenai who ends up joining the class. Zero sees her and she looks exactly like the pure blood vampire that attacked his family, killed his family, and turned him into a vampire. But that's not her. Or is it? We do later find out that she's a vessel for the Shizuka pure-blooded vampire, and she is like strangely attached to Zero. That's why she turned him into a vampire. We also find out that Zero had a twin brother that he thought was dead this whole time, when in reality he's been working with Shizuka this whole time. Strangely obsessed with her, maybe even in love with her, wanting to become a vampire so he could be by her side, but she doesn't do that. Feeling his hatred for Zero, seeing like why was he chosen to be bitten and turned into a vampire to be by her side, but she won't do the same for me. Feeling that whole thing, Yuki getting involved, Kaname trying to keep her safe, but then that's growing distance between them. And then let me see, I'm trying to remember. Yeah, no, that's not it. Oh, right. So at one point, Maria comes to Yuki and tells her, "Hey, I know what you're doing. I know that you're, giving your blood to Zero to keep him alive, to keep him from falling from a level E. But unfortunately, it seem like it's working, but it's really not. It's not gonna be the all cure to, keep his sanity from dropping." So she's like, "What do I need to do? What can I do to, keep him from losing himself?" And she said, "Well, you just have to sacrifice yourself. Give yourself up to us, to Shizuku, and she will do what she needs to save Zero." Seeing that she is very close to Kaname, so maybe she wants to do it as a way to get under Kaname's skin. So they do end up having like this really huge ball at the same time. So Yuki's conflicted between that, going to the ball, going with maybe Kaname or Zero, but also what to do to save Zero. But she does going for a little bit, dancing with Kaname, him kind of sensing what she's planning, her being, torn between it, but at the end of the day, made a vow that she was going to be by Zero's side, even if it meant like sacrifice. So she goes so she can sacrifice herself, because we find out that you would need the blood of the vampire that bit you to keep your sanity from falling into a level E. So with that, Yuki was gonna go sacrifice herself, but Zero ends up stopping her, saying that he doesn't want her to sacrifice herself any more than she already did, even if it meant for him falling to a level E. He was about to kill her, but I also think there's like some compulsive thing that she has over him, being the one that ended up forcing him to become a vampire, so she doesn't so he can't like defy her or something like that. Him and his brother, I actually didn't say his name. What was his name again? Ichiru, there we go. I was like, it's not Zero, and it kind of sounds like it, but not really. So Ichiru, is willing to do anything, ends up threatening to kill Yuki if Zero doesn't stand back and lets this happen. But then Oh, actually, this is also the point. This whole time they thought that he was a vampire, and that's why he was like by her side this whole time. But that's when he reveals that, oh, even if you use your vampire weapons against me, they won't work because I'm still human, so they won't have any effect. But oh right. But no, actually, I think at one point he overcomes whatever control she has over him, ends up wounding her severely, but not enough to kill her. So she ends up running away. Ichiru tries to go after her, but him and Zero get into a conflict. So Shizuka goes to Kaname's old room, I guess to start healing herself. But Kaname's there, where he ends up piercing her through the heart, and ends up putting an end to her and her machinations. But she does like warn him that, listen, don't trust the upper echelons of the vampires. Sure, they like fear us and worship us for being purebloods, but they also desire our power and our might, and were willing to do anything to get their hands on it. And in that moment, he promises that he'll fulfill her wish of getting against the people that are hunting the purebloods for their powers, drinking her blood, gaining her powers. And then let me see what else. Oh, right. Okay, so this is pretty much the last episode. So we, at this point, Shizuku is dying. She recalls, all the time she spent with Ichiru, but at one point she didn't want him to, I guess, get more involved in the vampires than he needed to be. If he had become a vampire, then that would have been besides the point. So that's kind of like her reason for why she didn't. The reason why she ended up kind of going insane and kind of doing all of this was because she had a lover that was a pure-blooded vampire that was killed, and wanted revenge against the people that targeted them. Oh, okay, I think it was. Actually, I forgot this. Actually, the person she was in love with was a human that she turned into a vampire, but because, he was a former human, the vampires didn't like that, didn't want them together, her being a pure-blood vampire, him being a former human, so they ended up killing him, which ended up driving her insane. But at this point, Zero ends up disappearing from Yuki. She doesn't know what's happened to him. No one's telling her where he is. She's worried that maybe he's gone insane, gone to level E, and she doesn't know what she can do to protect him. We find that he's actually chained down in like an underground basement of the school. At this point, he wasn't able to obtain Shizuku's blood before she passed, so he's unable to stop the transformation to level E. He decides, they keep him there so he doesn't end up running around attacking people, but also because he didn't want Yuki to see him like this. And in that moment, Kaname comes down, saying like, yeah, he's the one who killed Shizuka. That with him taking her blood, he now has her blood in him, and with that should be enough to sustain him, so he doesn't fall to level E. But of course, Kaname is not doing this all out of the kindness of his heart. He's like, listen, you are a chess piece. You are part of my master plan for what's to come. If you die, then my plans fall apart. Also, you are to someone he deems worthy enough to keep Yuki safe, to stay by her side, keep her safe. So he's like, that's the only reason why I'm willing to save you. So with that, he tells Zero to bite him, take his blood, to, fulfill his duties and his role. At first, Kame doesn't want to, but he knows, that he, with his feelings for Yuki and everything, does end up taking the blood, ends up seeing visions of something that Kaname either sees or knows is gonna happen, and, decides that he's gonna, whatever is to come, if it does involve Yuki, he's willing to, even if it means taking the blood of someone he hates, he's willing to do it if it means keeping Yuki safe. And that's kind of how the first season ends, with Kaname and Zero kind of forming a quote-unquote alliance, but at the same time, the rivalry for Yuki's affection does kind of keep them at arm's length. But they do kind of have the same goal of keeping her safe, keeping her out of harm's way from others that would target her either, for her connection to Zero or her connection to Kaname, and just whatever else evil forces is coming to their way. But yeah, so that's pretty much it. It's such a interesting anime. It's from 2008, so you can definitely see the dateness of it. But I would say it's pretty good. Like I said, there is a season 2 that has an additional 13 episodes called Vampire Guilty that we will end up discussing, maybe not next time, but I definitely will put it on the list of animes that we can discuss. And speaking of animes to discuss, I almost forgot about this. I know I went through a lot, and I skipped a lot, but it's just one of them animes where you just got, all animes are kind of like that, but you pretty much gotta, watch it to get the full story. So, let me make that a bit bigger. There we go. Alright. And with that, we will spin the wheel on what our next 2 animes for next month is going to be. Also, like you said, Mio Stick, that it is one of those very rare reverse harem animes. Because, a lot of animes don't really have that whole reverse where it's a bunch of guys going after one girl. There's a few, and actually a lot more than I thought. But a lot of them are regular, just harem animes where it's a bunch of girls going after one guy. But, it's good to switch it up. So, here we are. So we'll be spinning the wheel for what our next 2 animes will be for November. The first one is, actually I saw this and I was thinking about rewatching it, so I'm actually glad I picked this. So first anime is Flame of Recca. It kind of reminds me of Yu Yu Hakusho, so that's kind of why I liked it. So I am interested in doing a review on that. So next, that'll be the second anime, is the new Rurouni Kenshin. And actually, that's actually a good thing because I believe the second season for that is already out right now. So that's actually perfect timing. Really, you've never heard of either? Flame of Recca, I'm not surprised. That's it is an older anime, and I personally had never heard of it until I just went looking for it looking for something one day, and it popped up as like a recommended. It's like, I think it's like, if you like Yu Yu Hakusho, you might like this. So actually, let me pull it up real quick so you can kind of get a feel of what they kind of look like. Flame of Recca. Alright, so here we are. Yeah, so I can make that. Oop, that was not what I was trying to do. Oh, well, I guess that works. But yeah, so this is kind of like, this is Flame of Recca. Like I said, it's kind of like Yu Yu Hakusho if you've ever seen it. But it's a bit different. But it is kind of like a tournament kind of fighting anime. Oh, I've never seen those characters either. Yeah, it's funny enough. It's not. It's like one of them rare hidden gems that if you've seen it, if you've heard of it, then you know it. But I personally would have never seen this anime either if it hadn't just like randomly popped up one day as being like, if you like Yu Yu Hakusho, you'll love this. And I'm just like, Flame of Recca. I was like, I've never heard of this before. And then I watched it. I was like, how have I never heard of this? Like, at all. That is so weird. So let me do the other one. Rurouni Kenshin 2033 version. Alright, and here we go. Yep, so this is pretty much the remake. That's the one we'll be discussing. Because the original. Ooh, when did the original anime come out? I actually don't remember. I know the original anime came out in like the early 2000s, because that's when I remember watching it. I mean, plus with the Rurouni Kenshin, there's so many different parts. There's so many movies and specials, OVAs for it. Let's do the anime. I'm trying to find when the first one came out. I think I've seen the red guy in a short. You probably would, cause he is very famous. He's a very popular anime character. I'm trying to find the old anime when it came out, but oh, here it is. Dang, that's how old. That's when the original one came out, 1996. I mean, I guess back then we didn't get anime as fast as we do now. So it would make sense that it kind of came out a lot later, and then we didn't get it until like the early 2000s. So I guess that makes sense. Yeah, that kind of does make sense now that I'm thinking about it. But this is back in the day where we would sometimes wait months to get an anime that was probably already done, like on the Japan side. So that makes sense. The first one's kind of a bit older. But yeah, that's the one we'll be talking about. It's pretty much the remake, the 2023 version, which I said does have its second season airing out right now. So I'm definitely interested in talking about that, especially since I haven't watched the second season just yet. I've watched the first season, I've seen the original, and I've watched the first season of the remake. So I haven't watched the second season yet. But yeah, so those are the two animes we'll be talking about. We'll be talking about Flame of Recca and the remake of the original Rurouni Kenshin. When you look it up, it'll come up as Rurouni Kenshin 2023, and that's when it first started airing. But yep, alright, so let me swap that, give it to that, remove that from the list, save, put that, get that, and alright, so we'll be doing this real quick. Since I couldn't do my hand cam, probably, like I said, maybe do it sometime next week, maybe next Sunday. But instead, we'll do a candy tier list, going through certain candies. Pretty much all of them are ones up here. If I've missed any, definitely put them down below so I can look them up and see maybe it's a candy I've had before and what I would put it on the list. But I went through and I was like, yeah, this kind of looks like all the candies I've pretty much had throughout my life. So I was like, this seems like a good list to do this with. So of course we got S, A, B, C, D, and E. So first one is the 100 grain candy. Me personally, I think I've only ever had this once. And I've never had it again. I didn't hate it, but it's definitely not a candy I would go to. So I'm definitely going to put that in B. Next is the Airhead Extremes. Oh, these are good. I love these. These are like the strip ones, the tiny little mini ones. Yeah, those are really good. And actually, anything Airheads are like really good. Speaking of, we got the original Airhead, which, yeah, the long ones, those were freaking, you would thought that was like freaking drugs back in the school. People was giving those out like it was illegal or something. Just how good they were. Because, oh my god, my favorite flavors were, actually, what were the flavors? Airheads. I know the green one. Ooh, the green one was my favorite. Ooh, and the mystery one, because you never knew which one the mystery flavor was going to be. Let me do flavors. Right, okay. So there was a grape, green apple. Oh, the orange one was good too. Ooh, and the watermelon. Oh shit, I forgot about the watermelon. The watermelon was so good. I know people really love the blue raspberry. I liked it, but my go-to is always the green apple, the watermelon, and then the mystery one was always just because you never knew what flavor it was gonna be, and it was white, so you could never tell by the color. It wasn't until you bit into it you were like, oh, okay. I never had any of those. We go to the extremes. Yeah, and then we had these. These were good. These were good. Little bites. And I don't think I ever had the one with filling inside. But I've had these. And I've had the strips. Those were so good. So yeah, I would put those in like... These were pretty good, but the actual long ones, the original ones, yeah, that's definitely an A. Almond Joy... I forget, what is in Almond Joy? Oopsie. Almond Joy. Feature a sweet coconut center. That's probably why. It's chocolate coconut. I don't like coconut. So that's going there. Babe Ruth. I didn't hate it. The only time I actually would ever eat it, if I had any, I would have to have it sitting in the fridge for a long time, so it's like really cold. I don't know. I feel like that's like the only way. And there's certain candies that were like that too. Like, I could only eat them if they were like sitting in my fridge for like a long time, but just really cold for some reason. Next were these baby pops, if I'm remembering. Let me make sure. Baby bottle pops. Yeah. Oh man, I haven't had these in years. I don't think they sell them anymore. I mean, it looks like you can get them on Amazon. But, yeah, no, these were another ones that were just straight, like, were like drugs back in school. Because everyone had them. Everyone loved them. These things were so good. That and the ring pops. Oh, don't even talk about it. Wait, did I not see ring pops on here? Oh man, I don't see. Oh no, here it is. Here it is. No. I was like, wait a minute. I could have sworn I saw the ring pops, but no, the baby bottle pops. Those things were so good. Oh my god. Next is Skittles. This one is the wild berry, but I guess for everyday Skittles, Would I put it in A or B? Because I like Skittles, but I don't go out of my way to always buy them. I always go for something chocolate. But if I mean, hey, if they got Skittles, I'll eat some Skittles. Especially the sour ones. Oh, those are good. Sour ones are really, really good. Next are Twizzlers. I don't like Twizzlers. I've never liked Twizzlers at all. Like, no. I know people love Twizzlers. I mean, hell, I had a few friends who love Twizzlers, and I just give it. I'm like, y'all can have that. I don't want that. Butterfingers. I'd say a bit better than the 100 grain or the Babe Ruth. But definitely like my all-time favorite. Are these like the Easter egg things? Oh, these were pretty good. That's what it is. Ooh, candy canes. I love candy canes. I love decorating them with Christmas trees, and then after a while, you take them off and you just eat them. These are the, I think, like caramel candy. These are really good. Never had this. I don't know what that is. So I'll put that there. Oh, these. These were okay, but they weren't my favorite. And I didn't know a lot of people who liked them too. So it wasn't like a candy that, like, hey, I have a bunch of these. You guys want some? It was more like something sometimes teachers would pass out as a little snack. But that's about it. Was this that chalk candy? I didn't like those. What is this? Looks like, I don't know what that is. Ooh, Hershey's Cookies and Cream. I love Hershey's Cookies and Cream. I remember this was another one that was just straight addicted back in school. Especially when we had like fundraising candy and people would buy, have the box and was selling it throughout school. That was always sold out. You'd be lucky if you found someone who had it. Crunch. I love Crunch. Hershey's. Which one is this? Oh, is this the dark chocolate? I don't like dark chocolates. I'm gonna put that in B. It's okay, but it's not one of my favorites. I wouldn't. Dots. Same here. They're okay, but I wouldn't go out my way to get them. What is this? Juicy Drops. It's been forever since I had these too, but these were pretty good too. So I'm gonna I'll put them in here. Oh, I forget the name, but these were pretty good too. Especially certain flavors. Oh man. Swedish Fish. I've never had Swedish Fish. Maybe I did once, and I thought they were okay. Lifesavers. Yeah, about the same. Not my favorite, but I eat them if I have them. Oh, Fun Dip. I love the Fun Dip. Do I like it? Yeah, I would like it more than the Hershey's. You don't know what that is. Never had that. Ooh, I loved this bar. The Hershey's Mr. Good bar. So good. Gummy bears. Yeah, I say right there's fine. I go out of my way to get gummy bears, but if someone got gummy bears, I'll eat some gummy bears. Keith. I don't think I've ever had that candy either. Ooh, is this the Hershey with almonds? Definitely go up there. And the regular one, I like it more than the dark, so I'd put it there. Haichu. Same. I don't think I've ever had this. Hold on. Let me add a row below. Never had. Okay, that works. Oh. So I'll put it there, there. Yeah, there we go. Oh, dang, some more high chews. Oh, actually I remember these. These are pretty good, but they were spicy. Jelly beans. Yeah. Ooh, Jolly Ranchers. Actually, I just brought some. Oh, this is the chewy ones. I mean, yeah, I just like the chewy ones. The gummy. I don't think I've ever had the gummy, but if it's Jolly Ranchers, it can't be that bad. And the sour one. I think I've ever had the sours, but I think I'll put it here. Because if it's Jolly Ranchers, it's gotta be good. Never had this. I want to try it, but I've never had it. Hershey Kisses! Definitely yes. Ooh, Laffy Taffies. I've only liked maybe 2 or 3 flavors of these. But these are pretty good. From my remembering. But I'll put it here. I loved it. Never had. If these are the mint ones, not gonna lie, these kind of go hard. So I'll put those there. Peanut M&Ms. Definitely go up there. Same with the regular M&Ms. Mike and Ike's. Definitely not a candy that was popular, at least around people I knew. But it was okay. Milky Way. Same, about Mounds, no. I don't know what that is. Ooh, this is Nerds. Definitely go up here. Yep. Ooh, Sweet Tarts. That's another one that wasn't really popular, but I remember people liked it. Payday, never had. I've had these before. So I'll put them here. Ooh, Pop Rocks. Pop Rocks, definitely up here. These were so amazing to have. Are these Push Pops? Oh, I loved Push Pops. Yeah, I'll put them here. Razzlers? I think I've heard of this candy, but I don't think I've ever had anyone who's had them. Reese's Pieces Buttercup. Basically, these are the minis. I don't know why. The mini ones just hit different. Never had. Never had. These are the same one as these? So I'll put them there. Musketeers. It's cold. I'll eat it, but not my favorite. Oopsie. Where'd it go? Here we go. I'll put it here. Yeah, the mint ones. I don't know why. The mint ones just hit different. Ooh. These are the regular Skittles. Yep. Definitely go up there. Oh, Smarties! I really like the Smarties, and I know this is terrible. And I know at one point the school was about to ban these because people would crush them and open a little bit, and then pretend, and then act like they were smoking them. Like it was crazy. I never did it. I just eat them. Snickers, Sour Patch Kids. Yeah, I'll put them back here. Oh, what's that? Is that Sour Patch Peach? I don't like peach. And I don't think I've ever had that. Is that strawberry? I think I've had this, but I probably would like strawberry flavor. Same with the watermelon. Never had that. Ooh, oh, just Sour Patch Bites? I don't think I've ever had the bites. I've had the stick, the long ones. Those were good. But this, yeah, I think I'd put it there. Starbursts. Oh my god, these were another one. You could never go anywhere if anyone had these and never find the pink ones. Or, what was the other flavor that was really popular? But I know the pink ones were always gone. Ooh, and these little watermelon candies. I've always loved these. Which is impossible because inside it has like watermelon filling or something. I've always liked them. Starburst gummies. Maybe it's like the regular Starburst. I guess I could put it there. And the ropes. I don't think I've ever had the ropes ones. The gummies probably, but not that. This is the... Oh no, is that the sour one? I don't know. The sour one's different, right? Let me use Skittles. Let's go to the official website. Yeah, I don't need to know that. Come on. Okay, so that one's wild berry. Bright side. That's the gummies. Oh, tropical. That's what that one is. The blue one's tropical. I think I ever had that one maybe once or twice. So you know what? I'm gonna put that C. I've had the wild berries a few times. And I like those. Tropical ones, not that much. So the green ones are the sour ones, right? Yeah. Okay, I see, because it's right here. Sour. Whoopsie. Twizzlers, no. I don't like any type of Twizzlers. This looks familiar, but I can't see the name. It's not popping up properly. That's fine. I'll just put it in never had, and I'll relook it later. Warheads. I haven't had warheads in so long. Oh my god. Yeah, definitely an A. Not my all-time favorite, but whenever people had warheads, I'm like, ooh, let me have one. Wally Bears. I've never had that. Whoppers. Now this was my go-to candy. I'm definitely putting that up top. I loved Whoppers. I haven't had that in so long. Ooh, are these the snake ones? I don't know why, but these hit a bit different than the regular ones. Yorks. Oh, ew, no. I don't like that. No. I've never liked chocolate and mint. Zero, no. Or the Airhead Bites. Never had those. Blow Pops. Ooh, I haven't had a Blow Pop in so long. Definitely put that up there. Those were so good. Especially the green apple flavor. Oh, so good. Caramel apple filling. Oh, I've never had that. I did put this. Oh, someone already put. Okay, so actually I can get rid of this. Okay, maybe not. But I didn't see someone already put it. So, but for Halloween theme, we got candy corn. Yeah, I mean it's not terrible, but I wouldn't eat it, especially around Halloween time. Kit Kat. Actually, if I put Crunch on S, I think I'm gonna put it here. And I like Crunch, but compared to the other candies, yeah. Oh, fruit snacks. I actually was obsessed with these for a bit. You know what? I'm gonna put it here in B. Another one of these. Where did I put the other one? Another one of these high-chew things. Reese's Pieces. Oh, I love Reese's Pieces. I think even more than I like the cups. I don't know why, cause it kind of like tricked my brain to thinking they were M&Ms. But I love Reese's Pieces. You know what? I'm gonna put the cups here on A, and I'm gonna put the Reese's Pieces in S, cause if I have to choose between two, I'm going with the Reese's Pieces 100%. What else? Oh, the regular Jolly Ranchers, which is funny because I actually just bought some. Yeah, I don't know why. My mom was craving some Jolly Ranchers. We couldn't find any. And then I just went to the store and I just saw them. I was like, oh, so we do have them in here. I've never seen them. So I just grabbed a bunch. Grabbed that pack. And that looked like exactly like that, too. I've heard of these. I feel like I've had them. And I think they're okay for my members. Milk Duds, I don't hate it, but I wouldn't go on my way for them. Ooh, these nerd ropes. These are fire. What is that, Pebble? Fruity Pebbles? I didn't know they had a candy bar. So, but Ring Pops? No, this was it. You was cool when you walked around with this on your finger. But no, Ring Pops? Oh, those were so good. Lifesaver gummies. Yeah, I guess putting in seeds fine. Oh, now here's the sour ones. Yeah, sour Skittles just hit different. Sour Patch Kids. Whoops. Yeah, put that in A. This is a filling one. Never had Twix. Definitely put that there. I don't think I've ever had these. I've seen them and I've seen people say they're really good, but I've never had them. At least I know where I know what's selling them. And then I guess I'll just put this picture I grabbed together. So yeah, so these are some of the candies that were on this list. I couldn't really think of any more, but like I said, maybe if you guys come up with any more, let me know. And then I'll like maybe add a picture, or maybe I'll just put it like add an additional and just put whatever ranking I will put. But these are my S. I'm thinking, you know what? No, I'm gonna move this one down. Let's do some maneuvering. Yes. I like these, but they wouldn't be like an S. So you know what? We'll put those there. Yeah. So that. You know what? I think I'm gonna move that there and move that here. That definitely would put a Butterfinger over dark chocolate. So, yeah. And yeah. Yep, I think that's pretty much it. 'Cause I don't see anything else. But yep, so that is it for me. Podcast wise and this tier list. Like I said, if there's any candies I've missed maybe are your favorites, let me down below, or maybe post it on maybe under the post I did for Twitter, because I did make a post of the podcast going out. So you guys can definitely post it there. Maybe there's a candy I missed, or maybe I put a candy that you liked that I didn't put maybe I put low. Let me know why maybe you like it more. But also there was some news-wise, like for anime. So basically, this I think it's like a light novel or a manhwa. It's getting an anime adaptation called The Holy Grail of Iris. So that's getting an anime adaptation. The Eminence in Shadows Lost Echoes is getting a movie that's in production. Season 2 of Call of the Night is in production. Doesn't know what the studio is yet. We don't have an airtime. Classroom of the Elite Season 4 is in production. Dr. Stone's final anime Season 4 Part 1 will premiere January 2025. Final season will be divided into 3 parts. I actually kind of need to get back on that, because I watched half of the first season and then dropped it. But, I mean, I've heard it's really good. Let's see. Yeah, looks like they're bringing back Phineas and Ferb. Looks like the new season's coming out 2025. My Love Story with Yamada-kun at level 999 is getting a movie adaptation. Season 2 for the Apothecary Diaries has been revealed for October 2020. For October 22. Yeah, that was the previous one. And yeah, which is actually funny. I remember when I watched this as it was coming out. So the fact that this aired October 13th of 2019, just like, wow, that was 5 years ago. But it didn't feel like 5 years ago, which is crazy to me. But excuse me. But yep, that is it for me today. Here we go. Oh, did I not put the other music on here? 1 second. I guess not. I guess I can just add it later. But, yep. And there we go. Alright, well, that's it for me today. Sorry this is kind of like a short episode, podcast, whatnot. Like I said, I have things to do in like the next 2 hours. And then I will be able to come and do my usual night stream because I gotta be somewhere early in the morning tomorrow too. So we'll be back Monday night, same time, same place, continuing on with Batman Arkham City. But that's it for me. Hope everyone has a great rest of their Sunday, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye! No, of course, no. If you gotta check it out later, like I said, you guys can definitely check it out either or here on my Twitch or YouTube. But yep, that's it for me. I'll see you guys tomorrow.